What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into X-Men Before the Fall, Mutants First Strike, issue number 1. Now, if you haven't checked out my other videos today, I highly recommend that you do so before we jump into this comic. Not that you can't read them out of order necessarily, but I think it would be a good thing to check out Immortal X-Men issue number 12 along with X-Men issue number 23. Because really, it's all building the stage for what is going on. It's all building the stage for the fall of X. In Immortal X-Men, we are seeing that the Quiet Council is so compromised, they can't even put through a vote that would be legitimately voted on. In X-Men, we are seeing that the Stark Sentinels are out here provoking battles. That Mother Righteous is making her plays to take over Orchis as a whole. And Orchis, they are doing everything they can to bring down mutantdom. They are doing everything they can to make sure that the world sees mutants are the enemy. They are the bad guys and we must eradicate them. And now Orchis is about to make the biggest play that they ever had. They are going to attack their own people, and they are going to blame mutant kind. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up in Milford, New Hampshire. A small town, a quiet town. Just a nice place to live. Except on this day, this town is about to get hit with a blast that is so heavy, the ramifications are going to be reverberating throughout the entire globe. When this town is hit with such a heavy blast, the world news organizations begin to go out and saying that this is the latest in mutant aggression. They are referring to this as a Krakoan dirty bomb, a mutant suicide attack. That's what takes us over to Krakoa at the Quiet Council. They are discussing what happened in Milford. Power out, comms are dead, food is spoiling, disease is spreading, floods, emergency services being down. The situation is only getting worse at an accelerated rate. And now the Quiet Council, they must discuss what is to happen. And Bishop is letting them know that either a mutant did this, or at least it was made to look like a mutant did. Bishop would like to put out a field team and lead the response immediately, with everybody in the Quiet Council agreeing to do so. This is where we see X-Corps thrown into action, being made up of Tempo, Angel, Penance, Jean Grey, Triage, Bishop, Storm, Cyclops, and Iceman. They are jumping into this. They are helping as many people as they possibly can. As they begin their disaster relief, we pick up at the Bloom, in Earth's orbit, and we are getting the sitrep that this was all Orchis, their custom X-gene that they created. This devastation is accelerated by their chronokinetic plugin. But even with all of this, with everything that they have done, their predictive algorithms show that Krakoa can still solve this disaster. Probably within a day, maybe less. But they don't care that they're going to be able to fix this, because the damage has already been done. Now, as we pick back up in Milford, we have Tempo that is examining the site. They confirm that this was a mutant, at the very center of all of this, and the attacker's bones are admitting temporal nudge, making days of disaster out of hours. She is able to cancel the nudge. Time begins to flow normally, but even so, the folks here, they are terrified. They are so scared. As Cerebra does an examination of the bones, she is letting us know that these are custom X-gene, assembled very sloppily. This was never meant to last. It is degrading at a very quick rate. But as they do this, this is where we have the arrival of what is known as the Watchdogs, citizen mercenary groups here to defend the town, to stop mutant aggression. As Jean Grey examines the situation, she lets it be known that they are here to guard the town. Storm is up in the clouds making sure that all of the air quality has been fixed. Our heroes are doing everything they can. Dealing with the watchdogs has to come second. As Tempo and Cerebra, they begin to examine these bones even further. They have come to the conclusion that this was all a setup, that this wasn't a mutant attack. This was just made to look like mutants did it. And Tempo lets all the people know that she understands their anger, but she plans to hunt down the truth, that they are gonna find who is responsible, and they will bring them down together. But while she tells this to everybody, our heroes are battling against the watchdogs, doing their best to not try and hurt them, to try and make sure that they're not getting killed in this fight. But they're not making it easy for them. As Storm tries to talk to their leader, he has no intention of actually hearing her out, telling her that she needs to stay still so he can run her down. With Storm blowing up the motorcycle, he says, "I knew it. I knew you guys were gonna try and kill us, that you're only proving our point." This is when Jean takes them up to the sky, every single one of them. Their gun's not working, she is trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But all of them truly believe that this was a mutant attack. They may be crazy, but if this is a false flag, they don't seem to be in on it. They seem to be used as pawns just like everybody else, as they send the watchdogs off, saying that they'll be chasing their tails for hours. We see that they are trying to win the hearts and minds. They are trying to help everybody. They're trying to do their best, and Milford has come to the understanding that mutant kind is not the enemy, at least today. The mayor even goes on the news and says that this was not a mutant attack. The Krakoan was the first here to offer aid. Krakoan's X-Corps has pledged ongoing relief, and so they do everything they can to help these people, to rebuild this town. They truly are trying to win the hearts and minds. But even with Milford on their side, the news media is not focusing on anything that the mayor said, nor the people. In fact, they get the watchdog's leader on the news, talking about how this was mutant kind, how the mutants are responsible. They have come to kill us all. Today was not a good day for mutant kind. Orchis seeds are beginning to sprout, no matter what Milford says. And picking back up with Traveler, the Milford recovery is complete. Their attack had no lasting impact. But they also say that Milford wasn't the target. But the way the Traveler sees it, this went exactly as planned. Because every news station is reporting mutant aggression. Every single one of them is blaming the mutants. Regardless if it was them or not, the narrative has gone out. The news is running with it. Mutant kind is the enemy. Mutant kind made the first strike. And now, mutant kind must fall. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the least favorite of my comics that released today. Not to say it's a bad comic, but there was a lot of filler in here. Like, there's a lot of pages that we really skipped over because it's just dialogue between our mutants, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it doesn't really do anything to move the story forward, to add to it in any way, shape, or form. Really, it's just an opportunity to use characters like Triage, like Thunderbird, like Angel, having them actually be able to do something, because we haven't seen them a lot lately. But there's a lot of stuff in here that they really just didn't need to put in here. In fact, they could have used this to even further push everything going on with Orchis, with Nimrod, with Mother Righteous. There's so much going on, and it feels like this had a lot of filler in it. But the comic did what it needed to do. Mutant kind is said to make the first strike, which means the nations of the world are going to prepare for war. The fall of X on the horizon. It is now only a matter of time before war begins, before mutant kind is yet again fighting for survival. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with the X-Men. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.